Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Evolutionary Films live YouTube show. This episode, we are going to be discussing the film Trick or Treat, which is due to come out very soon on all of your platforms. So we're very excited for you to watch the film. Please comment below on the YouTube page, of course, to get all of your questions in to the filmmakers and cast who we're going to be speaking to very shortly. And of course, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We would love to have you subscribe to our channel because we've got a lot more events and clips and trailers and so forth coming up. So we hope that you'll subscribe and watch everything to come. Now what we're going to do is show you a trailer for Trick or Treat. It's a crime thriller. Very excited to share it with you.
My next 20 years are mapped out. There's not a day goes by I don't think about getting on a plane and heading off to Rio.
Happy birthday, Greg.
Well, exactly 45 years, 9 minutes ago.
Hold on, you were born midnight Halloween. Doesn't that make you some sort of a witch?
Just by being alive, you've already won the lottery.
What do you recommend?
All of it, sir.
I should be hunting mammoths.
With your knee, fat chance.
Welcome to my father, said the spider to the fly.
Look him straight in the eye, slow and stern. Is there a problem, officer?
The robber, Mustafa.
Now you listen.
In this line of work, you gotta be ruthless. No conscience, no remorse, nothing.
I'm gonna let you choose if your wife or your little girl dies.
Just kill someone. I'll drive you along with a few beers.
Is my brother having an affair with my wife?
Oh, he's trying to be the big man. Trying to be me.
Trying to be you? A depressed loser? Kid, I need your help, kid.
Welcome back. Again, you're watching Evolutionary Films, our live show. I'm really delighted to introduce Geraint and Craig. Geraint is the writer and producer of Trick or Treat. Craig was a writer, producer, and of course the star, if I recall correctly, guys. Awesome. How are we both doing at the moment?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I mean, I live up a mountain in Wales, so we were self-isolating long before it became trendy, and yes, things are okay.
Excellent. Craig?
Yeah. Day by day, you know, there's a lot of positives from this lockdown. But yeah, you know, just surviving it, really.
Well, one of my first questions was actually going to be both of you. Darren, if you go first, and then Craig. What are you actually doing to stay sane under lockdown?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure if I have stayed sane. Do you know what? A lot of exercise. A lot of deep breaths. I didn't realise I had as much patience as I've had to have had, and I didn't realise that I could be so good at doing dishes. So it's been a revelation in a lot of ways.
I find it's an art form in terms of doing dishes, in terms of stacking a dishwasher. I think that's actually a very specific art form, but I've developed this under lockdown.
It's a beautiful thing, but to do a dish with a fairy liquid, and not only to do it, to rinse it well, and not just put it on the side, make sure it's all nice and clean, and then you put it back where it should be. That's where I'm at. And I was never like that before lockdown.
Other brands do exist. Geraint, how about yourself?
Well, obviously, you know, this drink, gin and tonics, are helping me quite seriously. I've been growing my hair really long, ridiculous beard. Been reading some great books. There's one there. I don't know if you've seen that. It's really good. Highly recommend that.
Read. It's a quality read, I've got to say.
Quality read.
Yeah.
And just, you know, thinking about what we're going to do after all this is over.
Understandable. Okay, let's get to Trick or Treat, guys. Tell us a little bit about, you know, how you guys came together, how the project came to be.
Well, we married sisters. That's how we came together. And he became my brother-in-law. I then met this guy who we became best friends, which is, you know, doesn't always happen. And we decided we'd make a film together, and we decided we'd write about what we know. which was middle-aged men having midlife crises, but middle-aged men who used to party hard and can't cope with having young children. And then we turned that into a crime thriller gangster film with a difference.
So art literally imitates life.
Yes, and yes, and vice versa. Craig will tell you.
Yeah, but it was also a very exciting thing, because it was just one of those things in life where we met, we chatted about it, we came up with the idea, and then Gez did the first script, and then we worked on that in terms of notes and stuff, and then we decided that we'd have to set it in Blackpool, and it just so happens that my birthday is Halloween. So we thought let's use that.
Yeah, as is the lead characters, yeah.
Yeah. And then it just became a thing of, we were obsessed by it, and we decided that we were going to make a film, and we were going to use all my famous mates, and we were going to raise the money. And what happened was doors just flew open. And before we knew it, I think it was just over a year after Gez had written this great script that we were on set. And
it was a year.
And then there's a period where we had to wait for a little bit for post-production, and then we had to wait again to release it. So the whole process, it's been quite a journey, hasn't it, guys?
So it's really
wonderful journey.
So it's very much an independent film in spirit as well as the process. Sort of.
Absolutely, yeah. We made the film that we wanted to make, and that is dealing with a subject matter that is close to both our hearts in more than just the midlife crisis stuff. I mean, it's about mental health, but it's telling a story about that in a hopefully exciting way.
I remember when I watched it for the first time, realizing that it was, it's very much a genre film. But one of the things that makes it different is, like you say, there's a very real streak of, dare I say, what males experience as they ever so slightly mature.
Yes.
At the heart of it. But I think it's told in a really, like, a genre, dare I say, commercial way, simply because a lot of the films about that kind of theme tend to be, if I could call them, kitchen sink dramas. And that on a personal level, that just doesn't appeal to me.
Nor me.
Even when they're good.
When we decided to make a film, I remember us actually picturing it on the big screen. We made it for the cinema. We made it for the love of film. And I remember saying to Gez, let's have more twists and turns. Let's go with these red herrings, but let's have the audience like that with a popcorn going, what is going on? And we wanted to just keep them guessing, right up to the very end. And that's what we've done. It's a roller coaster ride of a film.
That's right, which is appropriate because it's set in Blackpool.
I was going to say, actually mentioning that, why, maybe this is kind of obvious now in hindsight, but why Blackpool as a location? And dare I say, we've already answered why have you set it on Halloween, I guess. But
it had to be Blackpool. That's where Craig and his brother are from, and they play brothers in the film. But also Blackpool is just a cool, weird, spooky place. You've got all those lights on the Golden Mile, you've got the sea raging away, you've got these piers, you've got Blackpool Tower. It's just smorgasbord of visual delight. So it's, the cinematographer had a whale of a time. Yeah. And I think it was just a perfect backdrop for this kind of unusual crime thriller gangster film,
Yeah.
I mean, when I visited Blackpool for the first time, which was actually for one of your screenings, I remember just staring at it and kind of going, you could just point a camera in almost any direction.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it was important for me to set it there because I'm from a place called St. Anne's-on-Sea, which is literally just next door. But I grew up going to Blackpool all the time. Blackpool Tower, the Pleasure Beach, and it's got a magic to it, Blackpool, and it has, I think, in certain areas at certain times got a dark underbelly, which was important for this script because it's gangster based. But on top of that, we knew it would look absolutely amazing. And for me, Blackpool's always almost been a character in this film. I actually don't think we could have shot it anywhere else. And I think because it's shot in Blackpool, there's a sprinkling of that Blackpool magic in it. And the way it looks, I don't think Blackpool's ever looked so good on film.
Yeah. Look, to me, it looks gorgeous. So after a cinema run at the View and Odeon at the end of last year, for those who don't know, Trick or Treat is out on June 1st. And the links to buy in the UK will be in the description because there's some ruthless self-promotion for you. Also, please check out the Evolutionary Film social media for further updates, and of course, all the social media of the cast and creatives on the film. We are now going to go to our first game of the night.
Oh, Jesus.
And I know you're both tingling about this because it's going to be Blackpool trivia. And just as we get started on this, I'd like to just tell everybody how difficult it was for me to get Blackpool trivia from the internet. It was extraordinary. So I'm just curious to see how this works for you guys. I'm just simply going to ask the questions. Both of you can answer.
Okay.
I will tell you who's right. There's no point scoring on games like this because who can keep track, really? So, okay, question number 1. Which famous racing horse switched on the Blackpool illuminations in 1977?
Easy. Red Rum.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Easy.
Not Sugar.
You guys need to keep your score of your own points because it's going to be competitive, I can tell.
Oh.
Number two even. In what year did Blackpool introduce the first permanent electric street tramway?
1894.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a oh God. Well, I think
Craig,
that's
do you
Blackpool
wanna-
Tower.
do you wanna-
But
Hang on, Craig, do you want to take a second guess at that?
you know what? I mean, that's a very, very tricky one. I'm going to have to guess that it was probably earlier than I think. So I'm going to have to guess. I've got 20s in my head. I want to go for 1924. Complete guess.
I've got to say, Garrett was close. It was actually 1885.
Right.
Okay, guys.
1-1, Craig.
Now,
You were very close, mate. Well done.
this one, I'd be really excited to see if you guys know, because I had no idea. Which Irish city also means Blackpool?
Is it a big famous city in Ireland?
It's an Irish city. It is quite well known.
Say
I'm gonna have to say
Tipperary. Just be done with it.
Okay, that's Garrett's guess. Craig?
well, I was going to say Dublin, but it can't be that. Oh God.
Limerick.
What? Hold on a minute. Are you going for Tipperary or are you going for Limerick?
Yeah, no, going Tipperary. Yeah,
Tipperary is his guess.
Well, I'll go for Limerick.
It's the city that you said it couldn't
Dublin.
be.
Dublin. I knew it.
See, never doubt your instinct. Oh no.
Blackpool, for anyone who doesn't know, Blackpool gets its name from a historic drainage channel that ran over a peat bog. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but it formed a black pool on the other side of the sea. Dublin is derived from the Irish for Blackpool.
Amazing.
Cool.
Well,
Who knows? Okay, here's a facts and figures one. How long is Blackpool seafront?
5 miles.
Good guess.
well, I mean, there is the Golden Mile, so that's a clue. So, 5 miles? No, I don't think it's 5 miles.
No, it's not. It's 3.
I'm just gonna guess 2.5.
1.6 miles or 2.6 kilometers.
Well, I meant
Okay. Of course you did. Question 5. How long does it take to take down all of the lights of the Blackpool illuminations?
Ages.
3 weeks.
It's ages.
Ages.
Garrett, what's your...
No, 10 days. 10 days.
Craig?
I'd say at least. I'd probably say 3 weeks.
It's 14 weeks.
14 weeks.
14 weeks. Unless it's
Why bother?
They
Why
do
not keep them
keep
on. Just keep them up there and be done with it.
They're just part-timers. You know what I mean? Like, a very good trade union in Blackpool.
Paid by the hour, right?
Oh,
What is the question 6? What is the total area of Blackpool in square kilometers? I feel like I'm on a very strange game show.
20 square kilometers.
Okay, Craig?
26.
34.85.
Oh, he's whooped me, but he does come from there. So I mean, it's never gonna win.
Hey, I tell you what, there's a lot of pressure on me to win this. Believe me, mate. I didn't sleep last night.
We're going to go to the last question, question 8. Blackpool Pleasure Beach is home to the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster. What's it called?
So, the big one.
Garrett?
The very big one.
Craig had it.
Yes.
Nice one, guys. Moving swiftly on. We're going to talk about one of the key cast members, Frances Barber. We'll obviously be speaking to Frances in a moment, but let's see a clip of her in action in the film.
Welcome to my parlor, said the spider to the fly.
Is there a clip?
Welcome to my parlor, said the spider to the fly. It stands here. Here. Wow. You're a pretty one, aren't you? But obviously a bit old for me. That's better. I don't like the surly ones. Oh, the surly ones, they bring out the worst in me. You're going to have to tell me something, Gregory, and no fibbing, mind, because I'll know. And then things will become less agreeable. You need to tell me where your brother Danny is.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that clip. We now are joined by the delightful Frances Barber. Hello.
Hello.
Lovely to see you. I think we should talk a little bit about how you got involved in the film, in fact. Who would like to tell me how Frances became involved?
Well, I worked with Craig years ago, and we've known each other ever since. And how could you not fall in love with him? I just did fall in love with him. I don't know why, because he's kind of unlovable.
You're blushing.
And he sent me this script written by Gerard, who I knew because I'd seen him on Newsnight, I think, about City Boy.
Yeah.
And I thought, how the hell does Craig Kelly know this incredible man? And this amazing script dropped into my email, and I killed to play this part because I think it's fantastic. It's exciting, it's sexy, it's like the Long Good Friday. It was everything that I'd ever wanted to play in my life. And I thought, well, it's never going to get off the ground. And we did it. We did it. And not only did we do it, we won Best Film at the Marbella Film Festival. You probably said
and you got Best Actress.
And I got Best Actress.
Now. Yes.
And it's just absolutely fantastic. And I couldn't be more thrilled to be part of this project. I really can't tell you that. Absolutely thrilled I am.
It's very well deserved. And in fact, actually, when your character's mentioned and then we meet you, I think it's such a surprise to see you playing that kind of role to people who know your work. And I think that's fantastic.
She didn't have to act at all.
I said to Gaz, I said, this has got Frankie Barber written all over it. And he went, oh, yes. He said, oh, yes, boy, I think you're right.
That's it. That's my exact quote.
Just as a reminder to everyone watching, please feel free to leave questions in the comments on the YouTube page. We'll be answering your questions at the end of the show. Frankie, please tell us a bit about your character and perhaps how you approached playing.
Well, she's the head of the mafia, so she's like a female junior soprano, and it's set in Blackpool, which is the most filmic place that I can ever imagine out of Las Vegas. You know, Blackpool is made for filming. Everywhere you look there's another kind of setup and another frame of something fantastically filmic, and it's just so exciting and invigorating, and for everybody that's ever been there, they know these places, they know those amusement arcades. I went to Blackpool when I was a kid. I hadn't been back for many, many years. I did Funland there. Do you remember that series, Funland?
Yeah,
that Jeremy Dyson wrote
Chris Marshall
many years ago, and it was then I realized I was working. We did a bit of filming in a strip club, and there were all these young women, and I was sitting around, and I said to them, "Don't you have any security?" And she just said to me, "Yeah, you put a bottle in their head."
That's the security.
Wow.
And it is like that. I mean, it's the Wild West of the North, and it's so invigorating and exciting because of that. So I couldn't have thought of another marvelous place to set it with a mafioso gang, and the fact that the head of the mafioso is a woman, of course.
Yes, I thought that was fantastic, and it was a very fresh take on that. Before we're going to play a game in a minute, another game. But before we do that, Francis, tell us like about a memorable moment from filming for you, like during the shoot.
Well, there was one where we were, if you remember, guys, we were filming on the pier.
Ah, yes.
At like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I think we got back to the hotel at 4 a.m. and we were staying in the Marriott, and there was a Marriott South and a Marriott North, and we got to the Marriott South, and there was a guy and his girlfriend and it was the middle of like November or something.
Yeah, early November.
I had 9 coats of layers of thermals on, and they had nothing on. And he was screaming at the guy saying, we are staying here. And he went, no, mate, you're in Marriott North. No, Marriott South.
And he almost kicked off.
And I think I promised sex to the barman to give us a brandy. Yeah. I didn't do it, but I promised it.
That's
but
right.
we all did get a brandy. We all did.
I hope it was a very nice cognac.
On that bombshell, I guess.
Yes.
We're going to play a quotes game. Very simple crime film quotes from famous crime films through the ages. And very simply, we're going to go in. I will actually go Geraint, Craig, Francis for your answers, and we'll just see who wins. It's very simple, keeping it easy. So, first quote, guys. I'll say Geraint, Craig, Francis. I'll start again, shall I? As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Goodfellas.
Correct. Easy peasy. Well, Craig, you are up next, sir.
It's an obscure one.
You should never underestimate the predictability of stupidity.
I'd like to say I have a clue, but I don't. I'm embarrassing.
Anyone else know?
Give me a clue. Give me a clue.
No.
Is
it Forrest Gump?
No.
The gangster film, the crime film.
It's a crime film.
Well, some people see Forrest Gump as a crime film.
Crime
against
humanity.
The subtext.
I'll cut it off there. It's Snatch.
Okay.
Francis, one for yourself. Francis, Made It, Ma, Top of the World.
Oh, that's the one with the guy on the top of the tower.
Yes.
Correct.
What's it called?
Jimmy Cagney.
Jimmy Cagney on top of the tower. I made it, Ma, I'm on top of the world. What's it called?
White Heat.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
I think Geraint's in the lead. And back to you, Geraint.
Okay.
You know, I'd almost forgotten what your eyes look like. Still the same. Piss holes in the snow. Sorry about that.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, that's an old one, isn't it? An old quote. I mean, in terms of the phrase, I have no idea. I'm just going to have to guess at Lock, Stock.
It's a good guess. Craig or Frankie? Craig or Frankie?
As a complete guess, something with Michael Caine in.
Good guess.
Get Carter.
It is Get Carter.
Good one. Nice. You still got it.
And now back to Craig, funny enough, because it's go. I'm gonna have to omit a swear word here.
Oh, okay. Bollocks.
It's a deal. It's a steal. It's the sale of the beeping century. In fact, beep it, Nick. I think I'll keep it.
Swedish Nymphs in Paris 2.
Your favourite.
No, it's not that one. No.
It's 3.
Can you just say the quote again? Thanks, Frankie. Thanks for that. Can you say it again?
It's a deal. It's a deal. It's a steal. It's the sale of a beeping century. In fact, beep it, Nick. I think I'll keep it.
Okay. Seeing as it might be one of those questions, just give me a clue, because at the moment,
I think I may have said it already. That's the clue.
You may have already said it. Yes.
All right. Okay. What decade is it in? Is it American?
90s.
What?
90s.
Okay, it must be the one with Michael Douglas in. Is it Summer of Wall Street? No.
Does anyone else
it already? Weren't you listening?
What? I wasn't listening. No.
You don't. You never listen to me.
I don't.
Go on, Gareth.
It's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking
It
Barrels.
absolutely is. Frankie, to
Jeez,
you.
I saw that. How am I supposed to remember that?
This is one of my favourites, I have to say. You can get much further with a kind word and a gun than you can with just a kind word.
Macbeth.
No. but it's up there.
I think you'll find that's the Scottish
It's
play.
Hamlet. It's Hamlet.
No, it's really not.
The Long Good Friday.
No, I would no.
Good one.
I'll cut it short. It's The Untouchables. It's Robert De Niro as.
Well, if you'd have said the other one with Sean Connery, I'd have got that.
Oh, well, that's
I was going to do it then, and then I've forgotten. Thank God.
We're gonna move on from there. Great goes, guys. That's good. We're going to have a talk about the lovely Mamie McCoy. We're going to show a clip of her in action, and then we will be talking to her just after this.
Look at our daughter, Greg. I know this isn't easy for you. Well, guess what? You men don't have the monopoly on finding this family life thing difficult. I used to be queen of the party scene, and what am I now? Bleeding dairy cow. Stuck at home all day with an infant. And that's you, by the way, not her. So get yourself another job and stop wallowing.
Hello, welcome back. We've just seen the lovely Mamie McCoy in action in Trick or Treat. Hello, Mamie.
Hi, you all right?
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, thanks.
I just waved, like, hi.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I was very rude not to wave back.
How are you coping with lockdown yourself?
Well, kind of alternating drinking and homeschooling, baking a lot. That's my thing. So I spent today making 100 cookies for an organisation called You Donate, We Deliver. So they're picking them up in the morning. That was my deed for this afternoon. That was a good one.
That's great. Let's talk a little bit about how you got involved in Trick or Treat, the film itself. How did you get involved, and tell us about your character?
I think I heard about it first from Hugo Spear. Yeah. So there was a good couple of months before I'd spoken to Craig about it, but yeah, he talked about it. He was raving about it, and then Craig got in touch about ask me to play Gemma, his wife. So yeah, so I was bowled over it. It's like it was a great script, and you know, when you start reeling off actors who you would love to be, you know, in the same room with, then it's a bit of a no-brainer, to be honest.
It's a who's who, you know, of acting talent in the film.
Oh yeah, well, you've got Frances here already. There she is. Jason Fleming. Do you know what? I can't pronounce Jamie's surname. Is it Sivers?
Sivers, yeah.
Sivers, yeah. I think he's a absolute knockout, and Sean Parks and stuff. And you're like, yeah, I'd be very happy to be in their company.
That's great. Tell us about any sort of memorable moments from filming, like anything particularly on set for yourself.
I don't think I'll ever forget how freezing it was at the end of that pier. And I grew up in the north.
I said that.
Oh my God, did you? Yeah, because it was Baltic, and I grew up in the northeast, so I'm used to like pretty like hardy weather, and I was like, I can deal with this stuff. And I was like, fuck me, this was freezing. Like that absolutely knocked me. That was particularly yeah, I think that whole section on the pier was really stood out.
It was the wind, wasn't it? It was really Arctic, icy wind.
Arctic.
And did you have any involvement with Blackpool? Like, had you ever been as a kid or anything like that, or do you regularly go to Blackpool or anything like that? Was that part of your life?
No, but do you know what? I'd been desperate to go there. I'd spent my childhood dancing, so I'd always wanted to go to the Tower Ballroom, which I didn't, because I was there for like a blink of an eye. But I think I only went to Aldi. I went to Aldi and bought loads of Joan Malone knockoff candles instead of going to the ballroom. That was so I got a tiny taste, but I want to go back and see it in its full glory.
Excellent. So we're going to play a game. Another wonderful little game. Craig, are you ready with your list?
Oh, yes. Just give me a sec with that.
Oh,
We're going to do charades. And Craig, we won't do all of them. I'll call out the number and we'll do them. Okay?
Yeah, go on then.
We won't do every single one.
Call out the number.
We're gonna do number one.
Okay.
Because I think number one is crazy. So Frankie and Mamie, you're going to be guessing. They're all crime films. It gives you a little bit of a narrower focus, and we've got to charade them, and really it's just up to you guys to guess. Okay, we ready for number one, Craig?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm good.
Number one.
Yes. Yes.
Keep going, Craig. You've got to do it as well. It's not just me.
As well. Okay.
We've got to do it just for fun.
One word.
This is one word.
One word.
Blow.
Yep, it's one word.
Yes.
Blow.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Look, Craig, let's go for number three, because I think number two might be a little bit difficult.
Okay.
Number three.
Okay.
So ready?
Can I do it?
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Oh.
4 words.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, very good. I don't do that.
First word.
First word. Yeah. Kiss.
Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second word.
Kiss. Kiss, bang, bang.
Hey.
Yes.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do number four. Let's do number four.
Yeah. Shall I start?
Okay, so let's do it. Yeah, do you want to do the word? That's great. Let's do that.
Okay. 2 words.
Let's do the second. I was going to say let's do the second word.
Well, no, we'll just do the first.
Oh, okay.
You know, then it makes.
I don't know the rules.
First word. The.
Yeah.
Second word. Ouch.
Ouch.
The sting.
Brilliant. That's great. Well done. Excellent. Okay, let's do number 6. Let's do number 6. Okay.
Oh,
Craig, is that good? Okay, I'll start with the words. Yeah.
Okay.
2 words.
First word. Baby. Cradle.
I can't see you, Craig. First word. Baby.
Yep.
Rock.
Second word.
Second word.
Baby driver.
Bam. Yeah.
Baby
Yeah.
You guys are killing it. It's fantastic. Let's do one more. Okay, shall we do number 9?
Number 9. Okay.
Yeah. You do it. You do the words.
I do. So I do.
2 words.
No.
3.
Oh, 3 words. Sorry.
3 words.
Yeah. Okay.
Go on. First word.
First word. The.
Oh no. Yeah. Okay. And then.
Third word.
Sleep.
Second word.
That's the big sleep.
The big sleep.
Yes! You guys are amazing.
The massive sleep.
Absolutely brilliant. Well done. That's fantastic fun.
Cheers,
okay, so you guys have been cheers. Yeah, celebrate. Celebrate.
Was there a question for Geraint from Kevin there, Ross? I've just seen.
No, don't worry about that. We will address later on.
Okay.
It's all good. So everyone, we are now going to, in a moment, we are going to be talking about 2 of the other cast members, Jason Fleming and Chris Marshall. But before that, we're going to watch a couple of clips with them in action.
Right.
You look like a man with a lot on his mind.
You have no idea.
Trust me, I've heard it all.
Not this, you haven't.
Sounds serious.
I just heard my brother is my wife.
Okay, well, that's serious.
Is there a problem, Mustafa?
Pardon?
Is there a problem, officer?
Well, that depends, sir.
Have you consumed any alcohol tonight?
No, sir. I've not had a drink in 3 years.
Oh.
Welcome back, everybody. That was us having a look, obviously, at Jason and Chris in Trick or Treat. Let's have a little talk about them. Gerrans and Craig, perhaps you could tell us about how Jason and Chris got involved.
Well, it's Craig. Well, there's two things. I could, of course, talk about how brilliant the script was, and that's why these amazing actors decided to come on what possibly isn't what ITV and BBC pay them. But anyway, or the other alternative explanation is that Craig basically has got something on him, and he blackmailed them and said, "Oi."
Well, Gaz, it was part of the plan because we always said we'd do it like with me as the lead, then we'd have my brother as my brother, and that was a complex relationship, and then we would have a lot of glorious
great actors, yeah,
and supporting roles, because that way we had more chance of getting these fantastic actors, you know, for a period of time, and sort of, you know, not pay them the $1 million fees that they used to.
Yeah.
So it was part of the plan, really.
Yeah.
And I kept saying to Gaz, you know, because being an actor, it's all about the script and who's in the script. And so Gaz, you know, although his script was always very good, there was a period where we just kept working on it. I kept saying, no, it's not ready. No, let's do more, let's do more, let's do more. And it was because I knew that, you know, you've only got one shot, really. If your script isn't ready and you've put it in front of your mate who's a brilliant actor, and you've not quite done enough, they're gonna go, oh really? Oh come on, this, you know. We had to nail the script, and we did. You know, well, you did. Gary.
And I was just chuffed with the actors that came on. I mean, I could, when they started coming in, I suddenly went, Francis Barber, Jason Fleming, Chris Marshall, Sean Parks, you know, Mamie McCoy, and, you know, we just suddenly were like, my God, I know pretty much all these actors.
Let's
and
not forget Dean Lennox Kelly. Let's
not forget your brother, Dean Lennox Kelly. He was, you two were the original.
And Dean Lennox Kelly's beard.
Yes, which is shocking.
I've got
some might say that his beard is a character in the film.
Yeah, and in fact,
it's got its own agent. It's got representation.
Isn't he Wilson in the Tom Hanks film?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
I know that's
Cast Away.
I know that's niche, but that can be another. You know, people watching this, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He talks to Wilson, his big beard.
Yeah.
The beard is coming in now. We're going to be cutting to the beard coming in. It's going to be quite a quiet interview. So, guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some questions from people who've been watching. I'm going to refer to my chat comments thing. My technology doesn't blow up in my face. It has not, which is good. Great. Okay, so we have a question from Nadia on YouTube. Fairly straightforward question. How long did it take you guys to film the movie?
23 days. And it would have been 22, but for that storm, the one that Francis and Mamie remember oh so well, which I think put us back about half a day, or just over half a day.
Oh, yeah, but it was nights as well, wasn't it? It was split days, and you know, it was nights.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, great. 23 split days and nights, because those night shoots. I always love a night shoot. There's always special.
You say it's nights like it didn't matter. It was 2 a.m. Me and Mamie were in the tiniest costumes. We were freezing our tits off. It was on the end of a pier in the middle of Blackpool in the middle of the night, and there was no brandy anywhere for any of us.
Cruel.
And I was going to die.
We could have been sued.
Later, Frankie. There was some brandy later, was there not?
Only because I threatened sex with the barman. He only gave me sex not to have. He only gave me sex. He only gave me a brandy not to have sex.
You changed, Frankie. Hang on.
I think there's a sequel. This is true.
Frankie, you've evolved promising sex to threatening with sex.
Yes, I noticed that slight change as well.
I know. It's like, you know, when Hugh Grant won his award for 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and he said, the only reason I got this job was because my agent threatened to be Mike Newell's best friend. So he said, please don't, I'll give you the job instead. And that's how we got the branding. I learned from him.
History was made. That's brilliant. So we have a question from Kevin, from Kevin for Gerrans. Is, are you planning to write another film? Or do you have
Yes.
anything else?
Yes, I've got this idea for a film set in Marbella, actually, which I obviously was there at the International Film Festival.
Where we won everything!
Yeah, where we won everything, which was amazing. And I just thought it's an incredible location. I thought there might be some money around there that needs to be laundered. No, I'm only joking.
That's fairly straightforward for a film these days.
Yeah, that's right. Well, how else are you going to make a film these days? So I've got that idea, and there is another idea I have, which, well, I'm just going to really give you a brief. It's called Tinderella, and it's about a modern day fairy tale involving Tinder. Someone's going to nick that idea now. It's actually Frances who's going to be the lead. She doesn't know that yet.
I've had terrible experiences with that app, but you can actually use me for research.
I missed all that bio. I've been married 10 years.
So is there a cameo for me in Tinderella?
Maybe. No. Sorry, Craig. Just Francis. Francis and your brother and his beard.
Or I'll do the voiceover at the end.
We've had another question.
It's the barman in Blackpool.
So weird.
Marriott Hotel.
I'll tell you what. When we started tonight, I had no idea that this is where we were going to be going.
No one did. I had no idea.
Had a question from Krista. Thank you for asking a question, Krista. Thank you to everyone, in fact. How long did it actually take to write the script?
So the first draft, it just flew out. It just was about 3-4 weeks, and there's changes, but the reason being that what I put that down to is basically the lead character was based on someone I knew very well and had known for about 8 years, namely Craig. And I was kind of trying to work out what was going on in his head, and then it made it writing very easy. So I just needed to exaggerate how absurd he is. And make that the main character, and so that's all those ideas about midlife crisis and the gangster stuff, and it all kind of came very, very quickly. Usually they take longer, but the first draft was 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, but it wasn't quite as easy as that, because
no, of course we then had to change it and adjust it. Yeah,
but I would argue it was a little bit based on yourself as well.
Yes, you might be right.
You just stop me in, mate.
And your brother.
Yeah.
Obviously, scripts go through a bit of a process and notes and all of that sort of thing. Did anything on set when you were shooting? Did anything like prominently change? Like maybe in terms of dialogue or in terms of like the way things were moving? Was it all sort of to the letter, so to speak?
It's really surprising how close it is.
Well, we would talk from time to time, wouldn't we? And we'd add the odd line. I mean, we were working right up until the 11th hour. There'd be this, there'd be that. Should we put that in? Should we take that out? And then there was stuff with the shooting schedule where we had to decide whether to keep a scene or lose it. Yeah. And then there was stuff on the pier scene that we talked about.
Had to lose some flashbacks.
Shooting. But apart from that, it was locked down.
It's good to know. We've had another question from YouTube. Okay, how much more impactful now is the film, like from when you were filming it, and its theme of mental health, now that we're sort of stuck indoors? Do you feel that's become more resonant?
I think so, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think
that's a very interesting question, actually, because when we're watching people now having to deal with their everyday life in a way that possibly they never did before, because they would be able to go to work and be able to escape. Certainly men, and I'm not, I love men. I'm not being a crazy feminist here, but that they are having to deal with their kids and homeschooling and all kinds of things. And it takes its toll. And I think that a lot of comments I see online are a lot of people are having a difficult situation with this.
Yeah.
But you know, the more time you have at home, the more you actually realize that, where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Am I the person I thought I was? Am I doing the right thing? Am I don't know. I don't have kids, and I just absolutely tip my hat to everybody that does in this situation, because I think it must be extremely difficult and tough. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people become sadly more introspective. You know, maybe. Do you have any thoughts on that as well?
Well, I think actually as actors, we spend, you know, or as being self-employed, you spend, or often spend, a lot of time at home or out, you know, out of work. So actually there's something where you're slightly prepared a little bit for this situation. So I think there must be an awful lot of people whose lives have been even more disrupted, say, than my personally. I'm quite good at, you know, using my time well when I'm not working. I've got used to that, you know, years and years of doing that. So I think you really do start to question yourself, I think, and massively. There's a big mirror being held up. And I think also if you're going to talk about kids in relation to that, I think, you know, homeschooling just reveals everything about yourself, every frustration, every insecurity you've got about maybe not knowing the answer to something, you know, having to grapple with yourself as well as your kids. So it's a really fragile time in whatever situation you have, whether it's a family situation, whether you're totally on your own. You know, I think it's going to be interesting, you know, in a couple of months, I think, seeing the fallout from everybody's you know, individual kind of journeys through this.
I've also felt, just on a personal level, that it's not just about being stuck indoors. On a personal, I'm quite a social person, all of that stuff, and I feel like there's been an issue of you just don't have the choice. I mean, you could choose to go out, but you can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, you could go out your door, but it's not like I can arrange to meet a friend in the pub or wherever. And when you have the choice to do that or not, you know, there's not really any consequences to whether you do or you don't, really, in theory. But when you're not given the actual choice to do it, when you simply can't do anything, that, for me, on a personal level, I don't know about anyone else, has really affected me and made me think about, what am I doing? Like, I love doing what I do. I work. I love working with you guys, and, you know, and everything else, and the team at Evolutionary and everything. But you do, I don't know, it's really started to make me somewhat become very introspective.
I think one of the most awful things for me, for example, and I'm sure all of us here would agree, I was about to do this new play by Stephen Moffat, directed by Mark Gatiss, so the Sherlock guys, starring Reece Shearsmith and Amanda Abington and me. And we were about to open it. We should be rehearsing now. We were about to open it, go to the West End. Now, I know that sounds incredibly selfish, but it was something that I was so absolutely excited about.
Yeah.
And I simply don't know now. I mean, they're suggesting that it might happen in June 2021. I keep seeing these photographs of distant, socially isolated theatre seats where you have two here and one here, and it looks like a Pirandello nightmare. It's miserable. How can you do a comedy like that? And the entire thing about actors is we sweat and we spit. So we spit as we speak. How can you give your dresser a sweaty, stinking costume after the show and ask it to be isolated in another laundry? You can't do it. And we spit on stage. So though I think we're in a real dilemma, our industry is in a real dilemma, because you can't go on into I've just been offered, interestingly, a film to do in Bulgaria in August. I looked on the internet going, it says, do not go into Bulgaria. So I don't know anymore what's happening.
No.
Help me out, somebody, help me out.
Well, hopefully things are on the side of looking up. I think that's where we're going to bring it to
sorry to be depressing. Sorry to be depressing.
Change in a second, and we're all we're all back to normal.
Of course, I think it's going to very gradually, you know, we'll get back to some sort of realm of normalcy. Before we go though, we have had the obvious question from YouTube: where can people see Trick or Treat and watch Trick or Treat? It's out from the 1st of June for those who don't know, and it's pretty much available on every major UK platform: iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Microsoft Virgin and Sky Store. There's the main plug. We really hope everybody watches it and enjoys it as much as we do. I've seen it a number of times now, and I just love it. I've seen so many different screenings of it, and I think there's more to see every time. And I think Blackpool's beautiful in it. Anything? Let's go around the table and just get some final words. Let's go, Craig.
Oh, well, I'm very, very proud of this film. I think, as I said before, it's got a sprinkling of magic in it, and I think it stands alone as a film that's very good. And we made it, and we made it with love, and it seemed to be. It was destined to be made, and however we got there in the end, I think we got there.
Yeah, absolutely. Mamie.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll just, I've always loved doing projects where there's usually not a lot of money, but everybody who is there desperately wants to be there. So the energy changes, and it just always creates something very, very special. And I personally love doing those. So I hope people watching it kind of, you know, grasp that as well, and they kind of will feel that from it.
So, Frankie?
Well, I've made so many films that have been so absolutely shit. And this isn't. It really, really isn't. It's actually fantastic. And I normally know when they're shit. And this one I thought, oh, it'll be another shit one. But it isn't.
Oh. That will be the quote on the poster. Yeah, that's the quote on the poster. I thought it was it, but it isn't.
I thought it was going to be shit, but it is. Fantastic.
That's a.
Oh, that's so good. I want that on a t-shirt.
That is, yeah. You can say that about so much.
I mean,
I'll drink to that. Thanks, Francis. I'll take that to my grave.
Derek, to you for your final words?
Well, you know what? I just since we've got some of the wonderful actors, I have to thank Francis, Mamie, Craig, because they did actually seeing your words get then translated, and just seeing how they just bring their own magic from their experience as actors was a truly wonderful experience, and I'm hoping at some point.
Well, and I would like to say my final thing. I'm not just joking. It's because of your words, Garen, your beautiful, fantastic script. That is why we did it. That is why we all did it, because it's a brilliant script.
Thank you so much.
It's true.
I'm going to cry.
So we're all going to get
cry.
I'd like to thank, I would very much like to thank, obviously, Geraint, Craig, Mamie, and Francis for joining us tonight. And thank you everybody for watching. Please, on our own side of Ruthless Self-Promotion, please follow the Evolutionary Films social media at Evo Films UK for information and updates. And of course, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please also follow the Trick or Treat social media, and obviously the social media of all of our wonderful guests tonight as well. Thank you so much for watching, and good night. Now freeze frame.
Good night.
Thank you for watching.